Section 1. Why most agents don't get listings and how to flip the script. Let's start with a truth that might sting a little, but it's also incredibly freeing once you see it. Most real estate agents don't struggle with listings because they're bad at real estate. They struggle because sellers don't think of them when it's time to sell. That's it. Not because you don't care enough, not because you're lazy, not because the market is too competitive. You're just not positioned correctly in the seller's mind. And the good news? Positioning can be changed fast. The silent problem no one talks about. Here's what most agents are doing right now. They're working with buyers. They're posting occasionally on social media. They're telling friends and family they're in real estate. They're hoping one day it clicks. But listings don't come from hope. Listings come from clarity and repetition. Sellers don't wake up one morning and say, "Let me interview every agent in town." They say, "Who do I already trust to handle this?" And if your name isn't already there, you're not rejected. You're invisible. That distinction matters because rejection feels personal. Invisibility is fixable. How sellers actually choose agents. Let's kill a myth right now. Sellers do not choose agents based on who knows the most, who has the longest resume, who brings the thickest listing packet. They choose agents based on certainty. Certainty sounds like, here's how I'd approach pricing this. This is what I'd do in the first 7 days. This is what usually happens next. Uncertainty sounds like, I think we could try. We'll see how the market reacts. Hopefully this works. Most agents unintentionally speak in uncertainty because they're afraid of being wrong. But sellers aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for leadership. The confidence gap. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Two agents can say the exact same words. One wins the listing, one doesn't. The difference isn't the script. It's who sounds like they've already been chosen. The agent who wins listings speaks like, this is normal, this is expected, this is the process. The agent who loses speaks like, they're auditioning, they're hoping, they're trying to impress, and sellers feel that immediately. You don't need to fake confidence, you need structure, because structure creates confidence automatically. Why chasing sellers backfires. Chasing energy repels sellers, following up too aggressively, over-explaining, discounting your commission too early, trying to prove your value. It all communicates one thing. I need this more than you do. And the moment a seller senses that, they pull back. The irony? The agents with the most listings rarely chase anyone. They attract through familiarity, calm authority, repetition. They don't look desperate because they're not scrambling. The magnet versus hunter shift. There are two ways to get listings: hunter mode, cold calls, door knocking with pressure, constant rejection, emotional exhaustion. Magnet mode, sellers come to you warmed up. Conversations feel easier. Fewer appointments, higher conversion. Momentum builds over time. This audiobook is about magnet mode, not because hunting doesn't work, but because it burns people out. Magnet mode works longer, cleaner, and with less emotional drain. Why just be yourself is bad advice you've probably heard. Just be yourself. That's terrible advice in business. You don't need to change who you are, but you do need to be intentional about what you repeat. Authority isn't personality. Authority is consistency. If sellers hear your message once, they forget you. If they hear it 10 times, they trust you. This isn't manipulation, it's familiarity. So, the real job of a listing agent. Your job is not to sell houses. Your job is to reduce uncertainty, create clarity, absorb stress, make decisions feel safe. If you can do that, sellers will forgive almost everything else. That's why newer agents can beat veterans. That's why quiet agents can beat loud ones. That's why simple beats flashy. The new goal moving forward. Your goal is no longer, how do I convince someone to list with me? Your new goal is, how do I make it obvious that I'm the right choice before they even call? That's the shift. Everything else in this audiobook builds on that foundation. Their action steps. Section 1. Do these before moving on. 1. Write this sentence down and internalize it. Listings don't come from effort. They come from positioning. 2. Stop trying to sound impressive. Start practicing sounding clear and calm. 3. Decide today that you are done chasing sellers. You are building familiarity and authority instead. 4. For the next week, notice how confident agents speak. Not what they say, but how they say it. When you're ready, I'll move into Section 2, Becoming the Obvious Local Choice, even if you're not number one. Section 2, Becoming the Obvious Local Choice, even if you're not number one. Let's clear something up right away. You do not need to be the top agent in your city to get listings. You do not need a billboard, a bus bench, or a TV commercial, and you definitely don't need 20 years of experience. What you need is this: to be the most familiar agent in a very specific place. Most agents try to be known everywhere. The agents who win listings choose to be known somewhere. That difference alone changes everything. Why I serve the whole city is killing your momentum. When an agent says, "I work all over the city," what a seller hears is, "You don't specialize anywhere." Specialization creates safety. Think about doctors. You don't want a general everything doctor doing surgery on your knee. You want the knee person. Real estate is the same. When sellers hear, "I focus on this neighborhood. I sell homes like yours all the time. I know how buyers behave here," their nervous system relaxes, and relaxed sellers choose faster. The power of the one-place strategy. You don't need 50 neighborhoods. You need one. One neighborhood, one price range, one type of homeowner. When you narrow your focus, 3 things happen. 1, your message becomes clearer. 2, your content becomes easier to create. 3, sellers start recognizing you faster. Recognition beats reach. 10 people who recognize you are more valuable than 1,000 who vaguely remember your name. How to choose your place. This doesn't have to be perfect. Choose based on where you already live, where you already have clients, where homes sell frequently, where you enjoy being. You're not marrying this choice forever. You're committing to it long enough to build momentum. Agents fail not because they picked the wrong area. They fail because they never commit long enough for it to work. Borrowing authority without lying or flexing. Here's a secret most agents don't realize. You don't need to say, "I'm the best agent." You say, "This is what's happening here." Authority comes from observation, not bragging. Examples. Homes in this area are sitting longer than last year. Buyers here are very sensitive to price changes. This neighborhood rewards aggressive first-week pricing. You're not talking about yourself. You're talking about the environment. And sellers trust people who understand their environment. The neighborhood reporter positioning. Instead of thinking like an agent, think like a local reporter. Your job is to report what's selling, what's not, what buyers are reacting to, what sellers are getting wrong. When you do this consistently, something powerful happens. Homeowners start thinking, "This person understands what's happening around me." That's the seed of a listing. Why consistency beats quality. This is freeing for a lot of agents. You don't need perfect videos. You don't need cinematic edits. You don't need viral content. You need consistent presence. A shaky but consistent agent beats a polished but inconsistent one every time. Why? Because trust builds through repetition, not production value. Sellers don't remember your best post. They remember seeing you again and again. The familiarity flywheel. Here's how this works over time. Week 1, you feel like you're talking to no one. Week 4, people start recognizing your name. Week 8, people stop scrolling past you. Week 12, people assume you're successful. Week 16 plus, sellers start reaching out just to ask a question. That question turns into a listing. But most agents quit at week 3. Why agents overestimate talent and underestimate time. This business rewards patience more than talent. The agents you think are naturals usually just showed up longer, repeated their message more. Didn't reset every 2 weeks. Momentum feels invisible until it isn't. That's why people think success is sudden. It's not. it's accumulated. So you are always teaching sellers how to see you. Every post, conversation, and interaction teaches sellers one thing. Is this person confident in their role? Not loud, not pushy, confident, calm explanations, clear opinions, no rambling. That's what leadership sounds like. What sellers need to believe about you. Before a seller lists with you, they subconsciously believe. You understand their situation. You won't panic. You've seen this before, even if you haven't. Your job is not to convince them verbally. Your job is to let them observe that belief forming over time. That's why authority is built before the appointment. Shatu, the before they call rule. If your first real conversation with a seller is the listing appointment, you're already behind. The goal is for sellers to feel like they already know you. They should think, I see this person everywhere. I hear their take on the market. They seem calm. By the time they call, the sale is mostly done. This is why random marketing fails: posting randomly, changing niches every month, trying new platforms constantly. It resets familiarity. Pick one place, pick one message, repeat it until it feels boring. That boredom is a signal you're doing it right. Action steps, Section 2. Do these this week. 1. Choose one specific area or type of seller to focus on for the next 90 days. 2. Write down 3 observations about that area's market. 3. Commit to repeating those observations publicly, weekly. 4. Stop trying to sound impressive. Focus on sounding clear and steady. 5. Remind yourself, recognition precedes trust. Trust precedes listings. Next, we move into the part agents usually obsess over, but misunderstand. Section 3, Modern Listing, Lead Sources that Actually Work. This is where we turn visibility into actual listing opportunities without burnout. Section 3, Modern Listing, Lead Sources that Actually Work without burnout. Let's talk about lead sources, not the flashy ones, not the ones gurus scream about, the ones that actually turn into listings in today's market. Because here's the truth, most agents learn the hard way. You don't need more leads. You need warmer conversations. Listings come from trust plus timing. Lead sources only matter if they create both. Akanon. Why most lead sources fail agents. Most agents jump from tactic to tactic. Facebook ads 1 month, cold calling the next, open houses when desperate, social media when motivated. This creates chaos, not consistency. The problem isn't effort, it's fragmentation. Listings don't come from trying everything. They come from doubling down on a few things long enough. The 4 listing lead sources that still work. There are only 4 sources that reliably produce listings today. 1. Your sphere, done correctly. 2. Social proof and visibility. 3. Open houses, strategic, not random. 4. Past buyers turning into future sellers. Everything else supports these. Let's break them down. 1. Your sphere, without being awkward. Your sphere is not everyone you've ever met. A list you blast with "I'm a realtor" text. Your sphere is people who already trust you as a human. The mistake agents make is turning every conversation into a pitch. That kills trust. Instead, think in terms of contextual relevance. You're not reminding them you're an agent. You're letting them see how you think. Examples. I'm noticing a lot of price drops lately. This market is confusing homeowners. A lot of people are waiting, but waiting has a cost. No pitch, no pressure, just perspective. That's what sticks. The low friction touch rule. High pressure contact creates resistance. Low friction contact creates familiarity. A text, a comment, a short message, a reaction. You're not trying to get business today. You're staying mentally present. When the moment comes, they reach out. 2. Social media as a listing tool, not an ego tool. Social media isn't for going viral. It's for being recognizable. Your goal is not views. Your goal is, when someone thinks of selling, they think of you. This means your content should be simple, repetitive, seller-focused, not trendy, not over-edited, not exhausting. What sellers actually pay attention to, sellers stop scrolling for: price opinions, market shifts, mistakes other sellers make, calm explanations they don't care about. Your morning coffee, your hustle, your motivation quotes. Think like a seller with anxiety, not an agent seeking attention. The 3 content buckets that create listings. You only need 3. 1. Market clarity. Here's what's happening and why it matters. 2. Seller mistakes. Here's what's costing sellers money right now. 3. Process reassurance. Here's how this actually works. Repeat these endlessly. Repetition creates authority. 3. Open houses that convert to listings. Open houses are not buyer events. They are seller auditions. Most agents run open houses hoping for buyers. Smart agents run them to attract homeowners. Here's the shift. You're not selling the house. You're selling your calm presence. Neighbors are watching. They're curious. They're evaluating. If you handle the open house professionally, confidently, and smoothly, you just auditioned for future listings. How to run a listing-focused open house. Instead of scripts, focus on posture. Don't chase visitors. Don't overtalk. Don't sound nervous. Answer questions clearly. Offer insights calmly. Be the guide, not the entertainer. Homeowners notice how you handle pressure. 4. Past buyers. Future listings, if you stay relevant. Most agents disappear after closing. That's a mistake. Your past buyers are pre-qualified future sellers. They already trust you. They just forget you exist. Staying relevant doesn't mean constant contact. It means occasional value. Market updates, equity reminders, simple check-ins, not sales, relevance. Why timing beats persuasion. You don't convince people to sell. You're present when they're ready. That's why agents with simple systems outperform talented ones. They don't miss timing. The myth of hustle without direction creates exhaustion. You don't need to grind harder. You need to focus fewer channels, repeat your message, stay visible longer. That's how listings compound. The compounding effect. Here's what happens when you stay consistent. Month 1, you feel ignored. Month 2, you feel silly. Month 3, people recognize you. Month 4, people ask questions. Month 5 plus, listings show up out of nowhere. They didn't come out of nowhere. They came from unseen repetition. Why this works so long-term. This system reduces rejection, increases confidence, builds momentum, and most importantly, it keeps you sane. Listings should feel earned, not forced. Action steps. Section 3. Do these immediately. 1. Pick 2 lead sources from this section and ignore the rest. 2. Write down 3 seller-focused talking points you can repeat weekly. 3. Run your next open house as a listing audition, not a buyer event. 4. Reconnect with 5 past clients. No pitch, just relevance. 5. Commit to consistency for 90 days minimum. Next, we move into what actually converts visibility into listings. Section 4. Conversations that naturally turn into listings. This is where most agents either win or sabotage themselves. Say continue when ready. Section 4. Conversations that naturally turn into listings without scripts or pressure. Let's talk about the moment most agents fear. The conversation, not the paperwork, not the marketing. The actual human interaction where a seller decides whether they trust you or not. This is where agents either relax into confidence or tense up and start performing, and performance kills connection. Why scripts fail? Most agents' scripts fail because they sound rehearsed, remove your personality, trigger seller defenses. Sellers don't think, this agent is prepared. They think, this agent is selling me. The problem isn't structure, it's rigidity. You don't need scripts. You need conversation frameworks. The only 3 questions sellers are asking every seller whether they say it or not, wants answers too. 1. Do you understand my situation? 2. Can you handle uncertainty? 3. Will this be stressful with you? That's it. They're not evaluating your CMA line by line. They're evaluating how you make them feel. The Calm Authority Framework. Every strong listing conversation has the same flow. 1. Listen longer than feels comfortable. 2. Reflect what you heard. 3. Offer a clear perspective. 4. Explain the next step simply. Most agents rush step 3. Listening is what creates leverage. Why talking less gets you more listings. Silence feels uncomfortable, but silence is powerful. When a seller talks, they reveal motivation, reveal fear, reveal timing. If you interrupt that, you lose leverage. The agent who wins listings is not the one who talks best. It's the one who understands best. How to sound confident without sounding pushy. Confidence is not volume. It's certainty of direction. Instead of, we could maybe try, say, here's how I'd approach this. Instead of, what do you want to do? Say, based on what you told me, here's what makes sense. You're not deciding for them. You're guiding them. Sellers want guidance. The interviewing agent's moment. When a seller says, we're interviewing a few agents, do not panic. Do not compete. Do not oversell. Say something calm like, that makes sense. This is a big decision. That single sentence removes tension. Then continue leading. The agent who acts threatened loses authority instantly. Pricing conversation without fear. Price is emotional. Most agents avoid it. Others bulldoze through it. The winning approach is education. Explain what buyers react to, how pricing affects momentum, why the first 2 weeks matter most. You're not defending a number. You're explaining a system. Systems feel safe. Handling objections without arguing. Objections are not rejection. They're requests for reassurance. When a seller pushes back, they're saying, I'm scared. Your job is not to win the argument. Your job is to reduce fear. Slow down, clarify, stay calm. Calm beats clever. The energy shift that wins listings. Here's the truth. The agent who gets listings is usually the one who looks like they'll be fine either way. They're not desperate. They're grounded. That energy is felt instantly. You don't fake it. You create it by not attaching your worth to the outcome. Why detachment increases conversion. When you need the listing, sellers feel pressure. When you're okay without it, sellers feel safe. Safety converts. Ironically, caring less about the outcome often produces better outcomes. Was turning questions into invitations. When a seller asks a question, don't answer and stop. Answer, then extend. Example. Yes, homes are taking longer to sell right now. Would you like me to show you what that means for pricing in your area? Now you're leading again. Ending conversations without chasing. The strongest way to end a listing conversation is with clarity. This is what I recommend. These are the next steps. Take your time. No pressure, no discounting, no begging. The agent who respects the seller's autonomy gets chosen more often. Why this works? Because it mirrors how people want to be treated. Not sold, not rushed, not manipulated. Guided. Action steps. Section 4. Practice these this week. 1. Stop memorizing scripts. Start practicing calm explanations. 2. In your next conversation, listen longer than feels normal. 3. Replace maybe language with, here's how I'd approach it. 4. Detach your self-worth from the outcome. 5. Remember, calm leadership beats clever persuasion. Next, we move into the moment where everything comes together. Section 5. Listing appointments that feel easy, not salesy. Section 5. Listing appointments that feel easy, not salesy. If listing appointments feel heavy, awkward, or tense for you, it's not because you're bad at them. It's because you're treating them like a presentation instead of a decision-making meeting. Presentations create pressure. Decision-making meetings create relief. Your job is not to perform. Your job is to help someone decide. Why most listing appointments go sideways. Here's what most agents do. They show up nervous. They talk too much. They rush through comps. They over-explain marketing. They defend their commission. The seller gets overwhelmed. Overwhelmed people don't decide. They delay. Delay feels like rejection, but it's confusion. The simpler structure that wins listings. Every strong listing appointment follows this order. 1. Set expectations. 2. Understand the seller. 3. Provide perspective. 4. Recommend a path. 5. Create a calm close. That's it. You don't need a 40-page booklet. You need clarity. Step 1. Set the tone immediately. The first 5 minutes matter more than the next 50. Start relaxed. Sit down. Slow your voice. You're signaling, this is normal. We do this all the time. If you feel calm, they feel calm. Step 2. Make it about them, not you. Before you talk about marketing, ask, why now? What's most important? What are they worried about? This does 2 things. 1, it builds trust. 2, it gives you leverage later. You can't guide someone you don't understand. Step 3, use data as support, not proof. Data should reinforce your recommendation, not replace it. Most agents hide behind numbers. Strong agents interpret numbers. Instead of dumping comps, say, here's what buyers tend to react to in this range. You're the translator, not the spreadsheet. Step 4, pricing without conflict. Price isn't a debate, it's a strategy. Explain what buyers compare, how pricing affects momentum, why overpricing costs time and money. Stay neutral, stay factual, stay calm. Emotion escalates when agents argue. Authority holds when agents explain. Step 5, marketing that makes sense. Don't list features, explain outcomes. Instead of, I do professional photos. Say, buyers decide emotionally in the first 8 seconds. Frame everything through buyer behavior. That's what sellers care about. Step 6, commission without apology. If you apologize for your commission, sellers question your value. State it clearly, then stop talking. Silence signals confidence. Defensiveness signals doubt. The calm close. Don't pressure, don't rush. Summarize what they want, what you recommend, what the next step is, then let them decide. People choose agents who respect their autonomy. What to do if they don't decide? Not deciding is not losing. It means they need time. End with clarity. Take a day or 2, I'll follow up. Then actually follow up calmly. Why this works? Because decision-making feels safe when the process is clear, the agent is calm, the pressure is low. You're not selling yourself. You're facilitating clarity. And the secret most agents, misconfidence isn't loud, it's relaxed. The agent who appears least rushed often wins. Action steps. Section 5, do these before your next appointment. 1. Simplify your listing presentation. 2. Practice explaining pricing in plain language. 3. Stop over-talking after stating your commission. 4. Focus on guiding, not convincing. 5. Remember, clarity beats persuasion. Next, we move into what sellers notice before they ever talk to you. Section 6. Marketing homes in a way sellers notice. Section 6. Marketing homes in a way sellers notice and respect. Most agents think marketing is about impressing buyers. It's not. Marketing is about convincing sellers that you know what you're doing. Buyers buy houses, sellers hire agents, and sellers are always watching. The big marketing lie agents believe. Here's the lie. If I market listings well, buyers will come. That's partially true. But the bigger truth is this. When you market listings clearly and consistently, future sellers take notes. They're not analyzing your camera quality. They're asking, would I trust this person with my home? That's the real job of marketing. Why most agent marketing misses sellers? Completely, most agent marketing looks like this. Generic listing photos, Copy-pasted descriptions, just sold posts with no context, bragging disguised as updates. Sellers don't feel helped, they feel marketed to, and that creates distance. What sellers actually pay attention to. Sellers stop scrolling when they see clear explanations, market insight, calm confidence, evidence of thoughtfulness. They ignore overhype, buzzwords, best agent ever energy. Professional beats flashy every time. Marketing is storytelling, not promotion. Every listing tells a story, not about the house, about the decision-making process. Examples: why the price was chosen, what buyers responded to, what changed during escrow, what almost went wrong. These stories show competence without bragging. The behind-the-scenes effect. Sellers love seeing how things actually work. Why? Because selling a home feels mysterious and risky. When you pull back the curtain, even slightly, you reduce fear. Simple examples. Here's how we chose this price. Here's what buyers asked about most. Here's what surprised the seller. You're not flexing, you're educating. Why consistent simplicity wins. You don't need new ideas every week. You need repeatable formats. Sellers trust agents who seem steady, not scattered. Pick a few formats and stick to them. Market explanation, listing story, seller lesson, process clarification. Boring is good. Boring builds trust. How to market without being everywhere. You don't need to dominate every platform. One audience, one message. Depth beats breadth. Agents who spread thin burnout. Agents who focus compound. The role of professionalism. Professionalism isn't expensive. It's calm. It's clear. It's consistent. You don't need perfect branding. You need predictable messaging. Predictability feels safe. Why sellers watch. Quietly, most sellers won't comment. They won't like. They won't message. They'll watch silently. Then one day when timing is right, they'll reach out and they'll say, "I've been following you for a while." That's marketing working. The long game that pays off. Marketing doesn't feel rewarding at first. There's a delay, a quiet period, a temptation to stop. That's where most agents quit. The ones who stay consistent suddenly feel lucky. It's not luck, it's momentum. Marketing is proof of stability. Sellers hire agents they believe will stay calm under pressure. Your marketing should reflect that. Not excitement, not urgency, stability. You are always marketing, whether you try or not. Every interaction is marketing. Every post is positioning. Every explanation is branding. You're either building trust or confusion. Choose trust. Action steps, Section 6. Do these this week. 1. Choose 2 repeatable content formats and commit to them. 2. Stop bragging, start explaining. 3. Share one behind-the-scenes insight from a past listing. 4. Focus on clarity over creativity. 5. Stay consistent even when engagement feels low. Next, we tie everything together into something most agents never build. Section 7. Systems, consistency, and momentum. This is where listings become predictable instead of random. Section 7. Systems, consistency, and momentum. How listings become predictable. Most agents don't fail because they lack skill. They fail because they rely on motivation instead of systems. Motivation is unreliable. Systems don't care how you feel, and listings come from systems. Why random effort creates random results. If your business feels like one good month, one bad month, listings showing up out of nowhere, long dry spells followed by chaos, that's not the market. That's a lack of structure. Random effort produces random income. Systems produce momentum. What a system actually is. A system is simply a small set of actions done on a schedule, without emotion attached, not complicated, not fancy, just consistent. The agents who look naturally successful are usually just boringly consistent. The weekly listing rhythm. You don't need daily chaos. You need a weekly rhythm. A simple example. One market insight shared. One conversation with a homeowner. One visibility action. One follow-up touch. That's it. Small actions. Repeated forever. Why consistency feels hard. At first, consistency feels pointless before it feels powerful. Early on, effort feels disconnected from results. That's where doubt creeps in. This is the danger zone. Most agents stop here, not because it doesn't work, but because it hasn't paid yet. Momentum lags effort, always. Tracking the right metrics. Don't track. Likes, views, comments track. Conversations started. Appointments set. Follow-ups completed. These predict listings. Vanity metrics feel good. Pipeline metrics pay bills. The snowball effect. At first you push hard and nothing moves. Then slowly momentum builds. One listing turns into social proof, confidence, referrals, more conversations. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence attracts listings. What to do when motivation drops. Motivation dropping is normal. That's why systems matter. On low energy days, you still follow the plan. Do the minimum. Stay visible. Progress doesn't require intensity. It requires consistency. Avoiding burnout. Burnout comes from overdoing, overthinking, overreacting. Systems protect your energy. When you know exactly what to do each week, stress decreases. Clarity reduces anxiety. The long-term advantage. Most agents ignore. This business rewards patience more than brilliance. Agents who stay steady during boring phases win long-term. The market changes, platforms change, but consistency always works. How to know it's working? Before listings show up. You'll notice more people recognizing you, easier conversations, less resistance, more just curious messages. These are leading indicators. Trust them. The final mindset shift. Stop asking, why isn't this working yet? Start asking, am I repeating this long enough? Time plus consistency equals authority. Authority equals listings. Action steps. Section 7. Do these starting now. 1. Write down your weekly listing rhythm. 2. Commit to it for 90 days minimum. 3. Track conversations, not likes. 4. Reduce effort before you quit. 5. Trust momentum, even when it's invisible. Next, we bring everything together into a simple executable plan. Bonus section. The 30-day listing momentum plan. This is where clarity turns into action. Bonus section, the 30-day listing momentum plan. If you've ever felt motivated after training, but unsure what to actually do next, this section is for you. Because clarity without action doesn't change anything. This plan is simple on purpose. Simple is sustainable. Sustainable creates momentum. The one rule for the next 30 days. Do small, repeatable actions even when they feel unimpressive. Impressive effort burns out. Boring consistency builds businesses. Week 1. Foundation and clarity. Goal: establish positioning and reduce confusion. Daily focus. Visibility and understanding. Actions. Choose one specific market or seller type. Write down 3 market observations. Share one simple insight publicly. Start one conversation per day. You're laying the groundwork. No pressure, no perfection. Week 2. Visibility and conversation. Goal: become recognizable. Daily focus. Repetition. Actions. Share 2 seller-focused insights this week. Follow up with past contacts. Run 1 open house as a listing audition. Stay calm and consistent. This is where familiarity starts building. Week 3. Authority and trust. Goal: shift from agent to guide. Daily focus, education. Actions: explain pricing strategy publicly. Share one behind-the-scenes lesson. Ask better questions in conversations. Reduce over-explaining. Confidence grows here. Week 4, momentum and refinement. Goal, turn consistency into results. Daily focus, staying steady. Actions are in review conversations, identify what's resonating. Double down on clarity, don't change direction. Momentum feels subtle at first. The daily non-negotiables, 10-30 minutes. 1. One visibility action. 2. One conversation. 3. One follow-up. That's it. No overwhelm, no burnout. How to know you're on track. Before listings appear, you'll notice more replies, familiarity, curiosity, easier conversations. These are signals. Trust them. If you miss a day, do not spiral, just resume. Momentum doesn't require perfection. It requires return. The final truth. You don't need to become someone else to get listings. You need clarity, consistency, calm leadership. That's what sellers hire. Final action. Steps 1. Commit to 30 days. 2. Reduce effort before quitting. 3. Track conversations, not feelings. 4. Stay visible even when it's quiet. 5. Trust the process long enough for it to work.